All right, beauties. So today we are diving in to the magical land that is my love life. No, but for real, today we are going to be talking all about fibroids and attachment. And I'm going to let y'all in on how I learned that my fibroids were connected to my insecure attachment style. So if you have fibroids and it has been super difficult for you to find love, you just experienced so much disappointment and trauma and rejection, then this video is for you because I'm going to let you in a little secret. It is not by coincidence. This is actually connected. Your relationship with your fibroids and your relationship in love are one. So let's get into it. So I have traversed through the dark pits, y'all, when it has come to love. I lived for a majority of my life just thinking that I was unlovable, that I wasn't worthy, and that I would possibly never find love. I kind of grew bitter and just believed that that was other people's blessings, that was other people's fortune, but not everybody gets as blessed. It was through womb healing that I was able to really change this story and change this narrative. And I'm really grateful for the healing journey that I've gone on because I was able to transform from a mindset around love being scarce, being, an attitude of lack consciousness, and really moving into this place of understand that love is abundant and that my goal in life, my truest desire, not just my higher self's desire, but the desire of my lineage is to love myself, is to unconditionally love myself. And I know that that is the dream, that is the desire, that is the hope of my lineage because I'm here and because I am a reflection of my ancestors. And also, I talked a lot about on my YouTube that my father and my mother both struggled with lack of self worth and self hate. And I could see that the both of them really desired, their inner children really desired to be validated, to be seen, to be held, to be nurtured, but they weren't afforded the emotional safety and the emotional care that they needed. And because of that, that trickled down into myself, and I wasn't afforded the emotional care and nurturance that I needed either. So I'm going to start back in the past because that's how we figure out how this transformation happened and how I realized that fibroids and attachment are connected in 2019. So at this point, 2019, I'd been single for about 4 years. Yeah, around 4 years. Me and my ex broke up in January 2016 after I found out that he had been cheating on me for most of our relationship. And that really cut me. He was my first love, and I essentially just felt incredibly betrayed and just didn't really trust anyone, any man anymore. Because if you knew my ex, you would know like he was a kind of guy that my friends would even tell me, this man loves you. He would never cheat on you. He would never hurt you. Like he talks about you when you're not even in the room. And so that did something to my psyche, right? It's like this person that seemed like they were an amazing person was actually living a double life and you would never even imagine it. So I just really shut off when it came to love and I did not trust anyone after that. So fast forward 4 years, I'm still single. I went through some pretty dark times in 2017, um, 2018, and I decided to get myself back out there in the dating pool in 2019. So I went on, I don't know, like a dating app or something, and I met this guy, and he wanted to hang out again, and I was really sick. I couldn't hang out with him. And he basically ghosted me because he wanted me to like come over, and I was thinking, oh, he probably wants me to like have sex with him, and I'm not doing that. Like I only hung out with you one time. I was struggling with this belief that I could honor my needs and still be loved. Now, here I am trying to take care of myself, and this person is basically telling me to have no self-respect and to go hang out with them. And so when he ghosted me, it wasn't necessarily him. So I don't want to give him all that credit and all the power. It was really just this feeling of hopelessness that I had in love for so long. Like, oh, why can't it just be easy? Why is it always so hard? Why does it feel like it's never going to change? Why this story just constantly continues and repeats that love is unattainable and that love just won't happen. And I just really was confused around why it was so hard when I could meet people and they could like be in a relationship with that person in 2, 3 months. Like there was something there that I didn't quite understand in my own energy. And so I went to go see a madrina who's in a Santeria tradition, and she basically pulled some cards for me. And she told me that my energy was showing that I am going to have a lack of fulfillment in love and a lack of fulfillment in success and in my work because there's a dark energy that was blocking me. Now, this is before womb healing, guys, but it all connects, which is really, really interesting. And she essentially told me that it's my family. She's like, you are patterned and programmed with discord and separation. You need to learn how to heal this. To be honest, up until that point, guys, I had never really thought about my parents being, or like my lineage or my ancestry or my lineage story being the reason why I was blocked in love or in life or anything like that. So I never even thought about that ever. And when she brought that to my attention, I was like, oh my God, this makes so much sense because, my parents got divorced when I was young. My mom never remarried. And my dad had a really hard time finding love again. And I can go back through the generations and see that people were just kind of really unhappy in love. Okay. So after that, my friend really helped me to understand more about that. So I did a lot of epigenetics work. I really started understanding that there's a story that is being passed down of hopelessness, some of these emotions and these feelings that I felt very attached to and didn't quite understand where they were coming from was starting to make sense as to why I was the way that I was. So after 2019, I'm still dating. I'm still, I started to believe in 2019 though. My whole mindset shifted that yes, I'm gonna find love. I'm worthy of it and I'm ready for it. And I know that it's in my destiny and I know that it's in my purpose. And I know that this is what the ancestors brought me to this world for is to experience the highest vibration of love, the highest timeline of love. And I'm gonna freaking manifest that. Like I started to believe that in maybe not 2019, like 2020, I started to believe that. But anyway, I kept dating. And what kept revealing itself in my relationships was really being unable to express my needs. So I met this guy in 2021 who, on paper, was amazing. And I literally thought that, oh, this could be the person for me. But I did not find out if they wanted a relationship. I did not I didn't create any boundaries. I wasn't looking out for myself. I wasn't trying to see if there was any kind of agreement and direction. Why? Because I'm anxiously attached and I always want to be charming and agreeable and I want to avoid any conflict and I'm afraid of rejection. So I'm just going to kind of go with the flow and let the guy lead and he will decide for us what we are going to do. He would ask me what I wanted to do or things like that. Like I would always defer to him. Like I'd be like, well, what do you want to do? What do you think is best? And I'm like, Carmen, why are you doing that? Like you have a voice, you have needs, you have thoughts. Like, why are you silencing yourself? And I was doing it in all aspects of the relationship. I could not bring myself to express my needs, to express my feelings. And I had seen this now in my relationships the past like few years before that, that I always tended to people please. I was extremely anxious. I was always hyper focused on men, even if it wasn't someone that I was seriously dating. Maybe I went on a few dates with them. I would start to get extremely preoccupied with that person. I would give off desperate energy. I realized that I had this deep fear of losing someone. I realized that this deep fear that I don't know, that they were going to reject me at some point. I didn't understand how to really detach from those thoughts. It was so unconscious and so beyond me. As I looked back on my family history, I saw that there has been a lot of loss in my family lineage. My dad lost his dad when he was 7. My grandfather on my dad's side lost his mom when he was 7, and then my parents got divorced when I was only 7. So there was always this loss kind of happening in the family around the same age for the children. And that imprint, that memory had been imprinted onto me because after my dad lost his father, his mother retreated. How does all of this connect to fibroids? Well, fibroids, as I talk about in my other videos, are essentially ancestral negative toxic knots that are sucking our life force and are sucking our energy. And it's located within our creator center, within our womb, within the space of unconditional love. All right. That's where we're creating our babies from. We're creating them in a space of unconditional love. So if there is knots and blocks that are sucking that energy, it's because it's holding a memory and it's holding a language that the ancestral line is carrying and never metabolized and never processed. And now it is crystallized into a knot and into a benign tumor with you. These knots represent interference from a natural flow and a natural ease of creating love in our lives. Also, the womb is connected to relationships. Okay, this is where the first relationships are formed, is in the womb. So, the fibroids being in our unconditional relationship center is naturally going to impact how we do relationship in the world. All right. And because these fibroids are blocks, they are going to do just that. They are going to block your flow because they're blocking your blood flow. And this is what I see with a lot of my fibroid clients. A lot of them have a really hard time in love. They're always putting other people above themselves. They're always feeling guilty for not putting other people above themselves. When we choose ourselves, we actually feel bad. We feel like we're doing something wrong. This is all stuff that we inherited from being in environments as young people where we did not get our needs met. All right. So when you start to heal your fibroids, you'll begin to see that the story is also unraveling in how you do relationship and how you connect and merge with people. But you're also going to be really conscious about how you're using your mind, things that you're saying about yourself, about your worth, about your self concept, about knowing what you are deserving of. Okay, so it's all of it. So I really had to unlearn the things that taught me that my needs don't matter, that I need validation from somebody else, that I need reassurance from somebody else, that I need somebody else to tell me that I'm going to be okay. And I still have love for that inner child in myself that needs that because, we all need that, but I'm now responsible for giving that to myself. The more I can love myself, the more I can choose myself, the more I honor my needs, the more that I honor my voice, the more that I have boundaries, the more that I know how freaking amazing I am, that I am the prize, the more my womb will start dropping the fibroids and I'll start to elevate into a higher timeline of love and relationship. And so that already started to happen. Once my fibroids dropped in 2024 in February, I met somebody who gave me love and attention in a way that I had never experienced before. I felt that I had quantum leap because it was unlike any kind of relationship I had ever experienced romantically ever in my life before. So here's the thing. When you heal your fibroids, you're healing your relationship, and you're also now creating a pearl on the other side of your fibroid, of healing your fibroid that contains the love that you're actually seeking. But first, it's all about reclaiming yourself as your true love soulmate. It's about reclaiming yourself as being worthy of love. Once you do that, you'll see your life change. You'll see relationships and the people that are coming to you look, sound, act, behave, and just be different. One of the ways that this man really showed up and showed out for me and continued to in our time together was every time I felt triggered. I noticed that I would get triggered really easily and then I'd get anxious really easily. And he would co regulate with me. I had never had somebody co regulate with me, guys. And when I experienced co-regulation with somebody, I was like, wow, how different would my life have been if I had someone to co-regulate with when I was a child? Maybe I wouldn't feel like there's so much heaviness on my back. Maybe I wouldn't feel like life is so hard. Maybe I wouldn't feel so alone. Maybe I wouldn't feel like exhausted and overwhelmed by life. Maybe I would feel like it's going to be okay because there's somebody here to do life with me. So I'm here to tell you that true love comes from within. Healing your fibroids is going to bring you into greater self love, and it will guide you towards the love that you seek. Because once you heal your fibroids, you are now creating more space inside your womb for it to start activating to higher frequencies and higher vibrations. And your divine counterpart actually lives on the other side of your fibroids healing because they live in your highest timeline. But a womb with fibroids is in her lower timeline. And so you have to release them in order to start activating yourself into your truest reality and your purest reality. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you have fibroids and you experience this, please leave a comment and let me know how that sounded for you, what you've experienced. And please like this video and subscribe to my channel. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one.